What are some of the things that you have found that worked for you? I've seen you speak at many events on industry issues. I've seen you moderate panels. We all have a different sense and style of what our own personal leadership is. And there's also your own personal leadership of how you're conducting your life and your career. And then there's also being a Latino leader where, you kind of have a bigger impact than just what you're doing. You're clearly in the Latina leader ranks. But what are the things that have worked for you? What are the things that, when you look back at your own best practices, say, that you can share with someone and say, these are the things that I've done, that I've worked at, that work for me?
There are several things. So one of them is having faith. So it's a question of whether you believe in the higher power or not. I do. But having faith in yourself that you can do it. So there's a belief that you can. There's a belief that there is something possible that can be done. There's a trusting that, okay, I'm going to try. It may not work. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, not so great. There has to be a little bit of compassion and forgiveness with that, because a lot of times we are our own harshest critics. So if I make the choice, it's not optimal outcome, then am I going to spend time flogging myself and beating myself up, or am I actually going to do what I've learned to do, which is to examine and learn from that and keep going, rather than just sitting back and saying, wow, that really sucked, I suck, everything sucks, blah, 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 blah. But being able to find that moment of, okay, so what can I learn from this opportunity and move forward? I think those are all principles that apply professionally and personally, and very community oriented. So I welcome what other people have to bring and teach me, even if it's a hard lesson. Even if it's a challenging moment, it is an opportunity to learn. So sometimes it's just going through that challenging moment and stepping out of it and saying, okay, what is available to me for me to learn about myself in that moment? So I would say that, definitely being in touch with yourself, knowing who you are, is going to really help you weather successes or storms. I think there's a certain commitment and discipline that you have to have for yourself and for your work to be prepared. You don't want to be in this business. Yeah, I read the newspaper every day. I watch news all the time. I thought I was watching less news, and my friends are like, oh, wow, you're such a news junkie. And I'm like, I am? Because I've cut back on what my consumption was 10 years ago when it was 24/7 news. But those are the commitments that I need to make for myself, for me to be successful at my job. I can't take that for granted, because now I'm in a different position than I was 10 years ago. I can't be like, hey, yeah, whatever, I don't have to read a paper. No.